guy.
Christian, what's going on, buddy?
Very much my guy. Look at
How
my
are
guy.
you? Thank you, man. This guy's wearing I'm wearing the toque. You know, it's a bit chilly in this house. Wearing the Keep the Dream Alive shirt.
The dream alive.
You know, right?
My guy.
Thanks for repping, by the way, the brand 94 collection. Christian was nice enough to be part of this whole movement.
Man, gotta be, man.
Yeah, man. I feel like every time we talk, it's always like something new with this pandemic. You know, like last time we spoke, it was just my area locked down. Now it's the whole province. Hey, did you hear about the news?
Yeah, so I think they said October 24th is supposed to be
December.
Sorry, I said October.
I was like, hey, next year? Christian forgot what time it is.
Yo, man.
Yeah. Pandemic life.
Being quarantined at home, man.
Quarantine, bro.
You lose sense of time, man. But yeah, they said like December 24th at like at midnight, everything's locked down.
Yeah, man.
I don't know when they said it's until 2, but we'll see.
Well, I know that, for me, what I heard was December 26th, was just a couple days after. But, Boxing Day, that's when things are going to get hit. You know what I mean? And, from a business perspective, Christian's laughing because he's a numbers guy. And he's just like in his head, saying it's not looking too good on paper for these businesses.
Nah, man, it's not looking good. No whatsoever.
Yeah. All their prayers are with them. But, yeah, what were we going to say, man?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what's it going to do. I'm hoping there's going to be some more money distributed to businesses.
Yeah.
Because right now, with the way the unemployment rate is right now in Toronto, because I know right now in Toronto it's super low.
Of course, yeah.
It's going to be like very dangerous in the streets because people are out of jobs and they're hungry and they have rent due.
They're going to get desperate. Yeah, that's the thing. And that's what I always say, man. Like, dust hasn't settled yet. Not to get like pessimistic, but I really believe that, right now everyone's doesn't understand what's going on with the outcome. So yeah, but on a lighter note, I'm really happy to see you, man. You look fresh, you look good. I love the hat. Thanks. Puma represent. I'm more of an Adidas guy. I love Adidas, as you can tell by this hat, Yeah, Adidas, bro. Low-key German in me. Adidas got some dope streetwear. Always been a fan of streetwear. Are you more of a streetwear guy, or are you kind of like suit and tie?
No, man. So honestly, this is why I texted you earlier today, man. I don't know if you want to disclose I told you earlier today.
Yeah, I saw that.
But man, like, yo, man, in the next 5 years, man, like, I know what I'm doing in the next 5 years. Finally.
Oh, you already have. You want to talk about it right now?
Let's not talk about it right now. Well, we'll make things happen, and people will
make things
see
happen, and then I like
people will see
style.
it. But man, like,
element of a surprise, right?
Not surprise, but to answer your question, man, I used to be a big fan of streetwear, but man, I'm 27 now, and I think I have to transition into more like classic, elegant wear.
Yeah, of course.
Like stuff you can wear in an office, wearing a suit all the time.
Whatever makes you feel comfortable, man, right?
100%.
It also depends on like the profession too. Like I know you're constantly in the office, like you're in that aesthetic, right? So you have to appeal a certain way. I like the hoodie, like the streetwear because it's like cozy, it's comfortable to move around. The last thing you want to be doing is being in a suit when you're filming. Learn that the hard way with some dress pants that I used to wear. But yeah, it's all about what you're comfortable with. That's always how it's been for me with like sense of style, sense of fashion.
Yeah, man. But I also find too, like for me, man, like feeling that snugginess of the tie and a blazer.
Yeah, you feel confident.
Puts you in a different mood. I don't know what it is.
100%. Like, I think I know what you mean. Like with this whole quarantine, I threw the pajamas on here and there. Like I kind of just didn't bother changing. And it like makes you feel, it tricks your mind into thinking, hey, like I think you need to like lie down on the bed and cool off, it throws you off. It throws off your game, your mindset. So that experience, but definitely wearing a suit makes you feel more professional,
yeah, man. Like for me, it's like the thing I love about streetwear is that like I can just wear it if I'm going out really quickly.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to realize more and more, like, you need to wear what you want the world to see you as, right?
100%, yeah.
So for me now, like, because I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about businesses and, like, networking.
Right.
And you never know when or where you might network.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like...
business card.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's why you gotta, like, you gotta look like someone that knows what's going on, or you know that you can deliver something. That's just for me, man. That's what I'm found myself. Like I dry clean all of my all my business clothes I used to wear at the office. I'm gonna start wearing them next year.
I respect
just
that.
Because, man, like I can see myself slacking a bit at work and after work too. Like I miss that, man.
That's what I like about you. You know, you clean up, and you know when it's time to like make it about business. You know, it's not always about partying.
Oh man, trust me, with those dreads right now I got on right now.
Yeah, well, I saw that, but I booked that. For those of you that don't have visual, Christian was rocking the dreads.
Man, crazy, man. I spent all my life with a fade. Now I got the dreads.
Yeah, I love it, man.
2020's changing me, man.
2020's changing. Well, when I got that text today, I'll be honest, I was like, what's going on? Because I sent you a few things, right? Like the cyberpunk situation, what we'll talk about. But you were just like, yeah, like, let's go. I'm ready to, like, I woke up today and feel motivated as hell. And
yeah, man.
I know what that feeling is. Describe it a little bit more. Like, I know you don't want to go into detail right now, but what brought you to that place, man? Like,
man, because I'll let the audience know. Like many of us earlier this year, we had plans on what we're trying to do with our career and with our life, and we were being told to stay home for during the whole year. So it's been very draining, man. It's very hard to live a life when you don't know what's gonna happen in the future. Uncertainty,
right? That's I've kind of. Tell me if you agree on this, but like for me recently, I don't know if it's like the whole thing about COVID and the new restrictions, but I had a great year, can't complain. Just looking on to 2021, as much as I'm excited, I'm also kind of terrified in a way because I don't know like where I'm headed or like what's going on. And I know that's a feeling that's common even before the pandemic, but now it just feels like on a different level. Like I have days where it's just overwhelming anxiety. Do you feel those situations?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, right?
Man. I was feeling it too because here's the thing. So like, forgive everyone a bit of background knowledge. I was trying to start businesses for myself.
Right.
And finally I had the ball rolling. And that took me at least 2 years to get the ball rolling because I was doing a lot of business reports.
Of course.
Networking with a lot of people, pulling a report together and giving it to investors and talking to them and seeing how what I'm trying to do will benefit them and benefit the world. So it was really hard because finally, when I got to that program, I was like, yo, I'm got in the program. Like, people actually believe in this. Next thing I know, it's like, oh, I can't do what I'm trying to do. Like, I got to stay home.
Yeah.
So now,
you're speaking of Curate? Is that the business?
Yeah, Curate. Yeah. Exactly. So for everyone to know, I was trying to launch a program, like a little application that can help people figure out what to do. Right. Especially if they're going on a first date, they don't know that person very well. They want to they want to go somewhere that fits both people's needs and wants and personality. But now I finally realized that, like, yo, I can still do it. I just got to do it more differently and more smart.
Yeah, you have to find a new approach.
But like for me to get to where I sent you that text, that took me 5 months.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, like it takes time. People don't realize like the energy isn't just overnight. And if it is, it's a different kind of energy. The energy we're speaking of is you have a clear mind. And Christian's been discussing this for a while. We're friends. We've been friends for years now, and I kind of know where he's headed. And he's been discussing like, how far he wants to go with, the whole writer producer. That's how I should introduce you is you're a writer and a producer, right? You have some content that you want to create. We're collaborating with. So stay tuned, guys. But it's been an interesting ride. I know for me, I can speak of like, my story, like, to give us some context, guys.
Great story, man.
Yeah. We used to work at, thanks buddy. I appreciate it.
You might have to tell the story.
100%.
I want people understand.
Tell the story.
You put it on, man.
I'm going to be the audience.
So 2017, I got a gig working. Can we disclose where we worked at?
Okay. Yeah, why not?
Fuck it, man.
No affiliation.
We don't work there anymore.
Yeah, we don't work there. Come on, what are you talking about, man?
It's a good place. Well, I had a good experience there. Yeah. Except for my last day, but you had I don't know, your experience was a bit different. My
experience, if everyone was like Christian, I probably would have stayed there until I retired. Let's just say
that. Okay. So like we're working at E1. And Interman went out a big cafeteria where like they had snacks and food for everyone.
That was the best, yeah.
That was the best thing ever, man. But here's the thing the thing with that is that like you stay there late because there's food and they're feeding you, man.
Exactly.
So we're staying there late.
Christian went through the psychology of it. Just wanted to interject that. Yeah, but go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, we're at the cafeteria, like it was like third floor or something. Then like I'm just there and like I'm just chilling, grabbing some mandarins or some Rice Krispies or something. Yeah.
You were stocking up. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, because I was doing those royalty audits at the time. And I saw you, and we both locked eyes. And next thing I know, you start talking to me. Mm-hmm. Then you're like, you know what, man? Like, because at the time, Iman was doing this little office video contest,
extracurricular activity.
Yeah, you know, to promote safety features that office they're trying to do.
Yeah, the guy from Dragon's Den, he wanted some security promotion.
Yeah,
for his company.
Herjavec, whatever.
Yeah, Herjavec. Yeah, how does he like his cheesy music video? Those guys. Anyways, people have no idea what we're talking about, but
no idea. Only E1 people know.
Only E1. But you're still in on the joke, guys.
Yeah, man. But anyways, Dan comes up to me. Dan's like, "Hey, man, like I know you saw that memo. Would you be willing to do this video with me?" Mm-hmm. I was like, "Okay, sure."
Yeah.
You know, like just like that, right? Because we started talking just casually. Because I think it was my second week or third week there, but you've been there for months, right?
Yeah, no, even 2, I think. I think you started. Did you start November or October?
No, I started like midsummer, so sometime in July.
Oh, okay. I was there like a month, maybe 2.
Month in between, yeah.
Yeah, something.
But you didn't make. But it was just me and another girl there, and like you just started talking to us so casually.
Yeah, I just, that's how I am, you know. I just kind of get in there like, hey guys, what's going on? I was also dying to meet people. I believe like my department was the only people outside, and then when I talked to Christian and this girl, I'm like, oh, there's people outside. Like the real world exists still. I'm not like, you know, confined to this little bubble.
But yeah,
so I was desperate to talk to you guys. But that's how I remember the story actually when I first met you. Is you were coming on the floor, and you know, I didn't know what you were pulling, like coming, like talking to everyone and introducing yourself. And now that I know you well enough, you were doing it as a smart tactic. Like you explained to me like business and networking. And when I look back, it all makes sense kind of thing.
Yeah, and I just love it. Introduce yourself.
Exactly, right? And I love it. And that's why we're friends, because we agree on those kinds of things, that networking is powerful. It's just like knowledge is power. And you came on the floor and you started saying hi to everyone. And I'm saying, who's this guy, like, you know, saying hi to everyone that doesn't want to say hi back, you know? Because that's the vibe you were getting.
Like, do you remember that? Everyone so mean. Like,
after you said hi to like 6 people, I just come and like, hey guys. And you're like, yo, what's going on? I was just hoping someone would say hi, you know? Yeah. And we had a laugh or whatever. And Christian was always encouraging. Like he saw it too, so I wasn't going crazy. But as you were explaining, man, I think it was the animal, like it was the beast, like that's how the department is run, right?
Yeah, man.
You were explaining that to me, like it's a different animal, right?
Because at that time they're going through a transition period at E1.
But also the marketing department specifically, you explained to me that it's just the way it's done. Like what, can you explain it like a little bit more what that means? Like just for the audience so they understand.
I'm trying to remember what I said, but
no, okay, go ahead.
I know marketing, it's very hard to move up in marketing because not only you have to be creative, you have to be outside the box, and you have to make a name for yourself. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of teamwork involved in marketing, from my understanding of what marketing departments
from my experience. Yeah, I thought it would be a much more collaboration, kind of like a film set, but it's more like
it's not like a.
I was there and they were like, you didn't put in the ratings. I'm like, I didn't get the ratings. You're like, oh, no one sent it to you? I'm like, no, it's only my second week. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll send it to you now. And it's like, they do it on purpose to make you look like you're not reresourceful. But it's like, how can I be resourceful if I don't even know it required a rating system? Do you know what I mean?
I know, man.
And I hate when people throw in the common sense thing. It's like, no, common sense is day-to-day activities, not when you're in a job. Because a job that could require this could not require that for another job. It's depending on the culture, it's depending on the environment. So yeah, it was an experience. I can't complain. And I was happy for it, you know. And we got to meet each other. Huh?
We got to meet each other, but we also gotta say too, like they're doing cuts, like they're cutting people left and right.
Oh yeah,
at that time.
Remember the department?
It was nuts.
I told you when we last, well, not when we last spoke, but we caught up a couple of years back. And I said, you know, I spoke to someone at TIFF because I ran into them, Toronto International Film Festival. I volunteer there. And the girl was like, yeah, the department's like dissolved, like completely disbanded. You know, some of them found work, Cineplex, some didn't. You know, the remaining staff is in Montreal. I'm like, wow, what? And then I thought of that and I said,
Civil Productions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's Seville, which is the French Canadian version of, in Canada everything's
I know, yeah.
You buy a DVD and it has like 5 titles on the front. You can't just have the English title, you know what I mean? John Wick or Wick de Jean. You know what I mean? Christian, by the way, is fluent in French. Kind of jealous about that. Yeah, the girls probably like that, right?
Man.
Here and there, no.
Here and there. Come see, come sa, man. You know what I mean?
Come sa, because they're used to it in Ottawa. You pull that crap in. I wouldn't say, no. Toronto's a bit cynical. They probably would be like, "Yo, what are you trying to prove?" Like I feel great. Yeah. You would have to pull that shit in like maybe the States or something, like because they've never heard French in their life.
Yeah, especially seeing a black guy speaking French for them is very 100%. Foreign.
Yeah, but yeah, Toronto is a bad example because Christian knows Toronto. My favorite story of Christian. I have to bring it up. Christian admires people who hustle, people who work hard, people who want the best out of their life because he feeds off that energy. And Christian, with the utmost sincerity, says to me while looking at a homeless guy on the street, I love Toronto because it's people like that are always hustling. And I remember looking at the homeless guy and I said, what do you mean? And he's like, and he's holding a sign saying, what was it like, $2 for a water or something, or something like crazy like that. And you're just like, you see, the people in Toronto are still hustling. People in Ottawa are just dying on the streets.
Just dying on the streets, man. It's crazy over in Ottawa.
Toronto, yeah. But that story, man, has always, it's what I use to represent you, like how I remind myself of who you are, like that personality is. You don't care like where they're from. All you care is where they're headed, right? So
yeah, man.
This is how we connected, and this is why we see that.
But let's say why we connected though, because that's also
great. I'll let you take the stand.
Then
sure.
cut out.
You cut out?
No, man. Let's say why. Yeah, I cut off just a bit, but that's all right.
No worries. Yeah.
But let's say why we stay connected.
Sure.
Because anyone your contacts, you just talking to them, see how they're doing.
Of course.
Dan in 2017 told me that like he loves film, like he wants to do it for the rest of his life. That's the thing he wanted to do.
Christian felt the passion.
I felt the passion, but here's the thing: people talk, right? A lot of people talk about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and there's no action behind it.
100%.
Dan was all action.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, Christian.
You're all action.
Yeah, I know, I am.
But here's the thing, because being in film, like we meet so many different people.
Of course.
Dan, and I was trying to explain to you at the time that like film is like a competitive sport. You got to
it's a marathon. That's what you used to call it, man. It's a marathon.
It's a marathon, man. It's like a basketball player, man.
Keep going for those hits. Eventually, you'll land there, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But you got to practice the craft.
Practice the craft.
And since we met, you've been practicing your craft.
Thanks, man.
Like, it's crazy to see your growth as a filmmaker and as a writer, man.
Thank you, man.
It's insane to me. But like, you need to like give yourself a big pat on the back, man, because you survived a lot longer than people I've met.
Thank you. Honestly, it's a lot. I really appreciate what you said, man. You're a good man. It's a lot of credit to how I was raised, and I owe a lot to like my family for being supportive. In the beginning, they were unsure as any parent. Like they want you to make money, they want you to survive, but they now start to see like if he just pushes a little bit more, if he just stays in it a little bit longer, we trust that something could come out of it. Nothing's guaranteed. I even taught myself, especially this year after witnessing 2020. But I really do believe in myself. I really do believe in my peers or colleagues, friends like yourself, that if we really push ourselves, we have a story to tell. We're charismatic, we're imaginative, we're creative, and we're passionate people. And the reason why I stayed in the game this long, it's hard sometimes, because I compare myself with people in film school, and I know you have your own opinions about film students, but when I look back at my progress, when I look back at what I've been developing, that's the true comparison. It's who you are yesterday. And for all those out there, especially the artists that are always comparing with others in the field, don't, because you are not those people. No matter how hard you try, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's always you. And that may sound cheesy and cliche, and it's always the same stuff. But I think about it. If you're really meant to have your own voice, why would you want to be anyone else anyway? Like my buddy once told me, thanks. My buddy once told me, Christian, listen to this. My buddy once told me, he's like, the truth is, man, you probably won't be a Tarantino. You probably won't be a Scorsese. And then I said once, like, never knew what to say when he said that. You'll never be a Scorsese, you'll never be a Tarantino. And I said, you know what? And one day I was like, I don't want to be. It's like, I want to be Daniel Calderon, because it's true. As much as I want to be Tarantino, because of, you know, I like his style, like in the sense that he gets to do his own projects and like people love him for it, and and there's an audience for it. Like, those are perks. But at the end of the day, I want to be my own filmmaker. I want to tell people to watch it. Like you, I want you to watch it and be like, yo, that's a Daniel Calderon film. Like, it struck me, it hit me. And this is why we do these podcasts. This is why we do these forms of creative content, these platform sharing devices to express our vision, is because we're trying to be a voice for the millennials, our generation, you know, the people that, you know, are trying to make sense of the world, because this is our world now. We are the future guys. And we need to find a way to band together and see, you know, what our strengths and our weaknesses are. We're the first generation to be introduced to the internet, and the internet, for those that might not picked it up yet, is like the printing press. When people look back in 200 years, 300, they're gonna be confused why we were so, you know, distraught about it, like, you know, comparisons with social media. But it also makes sense to them because it was new to us. It's such a new device that it was just hard for us to adapt to. But we are the pioneers, man. We're the pioneers, and we need to capitalize on it.
Man, to add to what you said about the internet, man, it's like the ultimate game changer.
Ultimate game changer, man.
Ultimate game changer.
I met so many contacts through this, man.
Through the internet? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
If I have a question about something, I can just ask, and I will get the information right away.
Exactly.
But let's go back to film, because I know we're talking a bit about what's going on right now with Warner Bros. Pushing all of their upcoming films to HBO Max, and the amount of filmmakers right now in Hollywood just losing it. I don't know if you've seen those headlines.
Bro, I wanted to ask you about that. I wanted to ask you about that Tom Cruise rant.
Tom Cruise, yo. But what Tom Cruise says is very real. Like, that's a real statement he's saying.
You know what?
This is an economy right here.
Yeah,
this is an economy.
He basically was saying, man, it reminded me of us. Like, people that are just trying to make it in film. And he's like, people are dying, like, to get a job, and you guys are like basically taking advantage of it, you know?
Yeah, and this film would provide a lot of money for the economy.
And it reminded me of you, though, in a way, because Christian, you know, again, like I mentioned before, wants to be a producer, right? Or is a producer, and has to have that mindset. And Tom Cruise, like, people forget, like, he's not the star. He's that's his movie. Like, he's put money in it. He's overseeing it. Like, if you search up Mission Impossible, he's been producing the whole franchise. So
yeah, man.
I could see him going psycho, and I could see Christian, like, you know, I haven't seen that side of you yet, but when money's on the line,
yo, man,
I could see it. I could see it getting shit hitting the fan.
Yeah, because they went above and beyond with COVID-19 measures on the set.
Tom Cruise is smart enough to know. Like, LA, we talked about this last time we had a phone call. It is on lockdown. Like, the city's not doing anything, producing nothing. And for them to slip in a movie like that, like a big movie, and say, yeah, you guys can continue. He's like, yo, everybody better smarten up.
Yeah, because the movie is being shot right now in Italy, in Europe.
So in Italy, right?
Europe is complete. Because what happened over the weekend?
They're very lucky, man. Well, that's insane.
No, not lucky anymore, right? Because Britain locked down. Because they're saying the coronavirus.
I know about that. So wait, did the production stop? I haven't really been following it.
Well, the flights have stopped, so I'm assuming
I know that for 72 hours or something. Yeah, to Canada, right?
Yeah, because Italy stopped their flights. Britain stopped their flights. I think France is about to stop their flights.
Britain has a new strand of virus. Like, what's? Can you talk about that? Like, do you know anything about it?
I don't even know anything about it. I just know, like, they're really worried about it, because that will definitely spread across Europe easily, because people are traveling for holidays.
Well, it's highly transmissible. People don't really have the vaccines yet, and on top of that, you know, they're also worried with this vaccine. I know we discussed about the vaccine, and, you know, people they're mad at people like us because we like waiting and you know, just kind of. But it's you know, a normal thing. You know, assessing the situation. You're not in a rush. You know, you hear these little minor side effects about allergies and whatever, but not going to get into that. That's for another conversation. We just got to be safe. But that new strand in the UK, like, I know I have a cousin there, like, just, you know, concerned, hope everything's okay. And you know, all the best, man. Right?
All the best to them in Britain, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But let's go back to
yeah. What do you want to talk about?
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. Yes, that's right. So Warner Brothers, So my buddy actually I think was it you or another friend? He was saying something like that's just one studio though. Like eventually they're gonna crack. Yeah, I think I was talking about Buddy. He's like something about it's not gonna last because unless everyone else does it, like Universal, Paramount. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. I think
like if,
I know.
Like
I know.
if Warner Brothers, yeah, because if the competitors are like, no, like if you want to watch our movies, it's in the theaters, right? You know, Warner Brothers, they're lucky. They have a great IP. Like they have a lot of great titles.
They also own HBO, or
they also
own
the HBO, which is a huge television. Yes, exactly. Yeah. However, it's still a percentage of the market. Like for example, Disney. If Disney's still saying, yeah, we're still releasing our movies in theaters, we all know Disney is a huge player in the game. So I guess his opinion, his argument, and I can see some truth to that, is it'll only be for so long. I feel for Warner Brothers though. I think it's one of those things that they're trying to make both parties happy. Because you got people like me, you got people like us that are like, hey, we really want to watch, you know, Wonder Woman in the theater, let's say, right? But you got people like, you know, my sister that are like, yeah, that's fine. I could just watch it on my phone. Like, it's not a big deal, right? So they want to appease to both, but they're making up for lost time. They can't afford to, you know what I mean, man? Like, okay, let's pretend 2020 didn't happen.
Yeah.
And they're very lucky, like things aren't getting leaked. I'm surprised, right?
I'm surprised too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised the editors are not leaking shit, man. I'm very surprised none of them are doing that whatsoever. But it's just so funny to me because AMC has now threatened Warner Brothers that they're going to cut the prices for movie tickets to like $4, and they're going to keep the price, most of the price of revenue for his movie tickets. So Warner Brothers is going to lose revenue on movie tickets for distribution. But here's the thing. This is why I think it's so brilliant what they're doing. Because Warner Brothers acknowledges the Netflix model if they do that. Because at the end of the day, who goes to theater anymore? Like we go to movie theaters because we love cinema.
Yeah, of course.
But like your sister doesn't care about going to cinema.
The reality is, what Christian's saying is
we're watching it on our phone, man.
Yeah,
like
what Christian's saying, man, is the reality is people are not. Yeah, it's true, man.
Watch the cinema's changed, man.
But to be honest, man, the only reason why we go to the cinema, or at least I do, like once in a while I might watch, like I watched Parasite in the theater or like Lighthouse. That was pretty cool. But if it wasn't like hyped and it wasn't, you know, doing really well, I wouldn't really watch it in the theater. It would be more of a TV movie. Like you watch it on a big screen at home, whatever. The only reason what I'm trying to get at is with the theaters, I only go and watch, you know, big movies like Wonder Woman, James Bond, you know, if a Star Wars movie comes out. Those are what I call theater movies. Very rarely I would go to see 90% of the other movies that are actually good and like you watch whatever. Like I'm happy to watch. Like I don't mind watching Social Network on my TV. Like I don't need to watch it in a theater. You know, no disrespect to David Fincher because I know how much he prides himself on that quality of a film. However, the theaters are designed for just these big blockbuster popcorn movies. That's why you have studio execs freaking out. Like, why didn't it make $1 billion? And it's like, because 800 million is still fine. It's like, no, it has to make $1 billion, you know? We're not exaggerating. There's the studios have now, like I remember it was Batman and Superman. For Superman, they considered that a failure. They made 825. Yeah, they made 825 million, and it was supposed to. It didn't pass the $1 billion threshold, so they were like, it's a crap.
Man, but Dan, like this should excite you too now because high budget movies are not going to be a thing anymore in 5 years. If this coronavirus continues, and here's why.
Yeah.
If I can make a movie for like $2 or $3 million for a rom-com, and I know I'm going to distribute to Netflix, all I need is a certain amount of watches to make my money back.
Yeah.
Because compared to making a big blockbuster where you can make a big ordeal out of things, people are going to the theater and the theater is jam-packed for a couple of weeks, people are now realizing that I can have a great movie experience at home.
Yep.
So why am I going to watch Wonder Woman with like 20 people when I'm worried I might get sick of these 20 people within 2 years when I can be already watching it at home?
Yep.
Now I have Twitter open and now I can live watch it with the producer, with the star on the same exact time.
Yeah. Get more feedback, get more
feedback.
Right?
Exactly, man. I don't know, man.
Bieber did that with his, Justin Bieber did that actually with, I've been following him. with his singles. Every time he dropped a single, got Chance the Rapper, he got Shawn Mendes. Now music is a different, category, but it's the concept is there. Like people,
same principle.
I'm guilty of that. Like I watch them because as human beings, you love that humanity, you love that rawness. Like it's not edited. It's just two people on a webcam, kind of like what we're doing. No one's monitoring this call. Like it's just, we're spitting facts. Like, oh yeah, I had a great time. Remember that time when you jumped off? And it's just, I think it's going to change. Yeah. It's going to change the game. People forget. I always say this, right? We learned this in marketing. First rule is 18 to 34. That's your prime market. And that's, our generation. That's who we're, there's some of us, like the small percent, like we still prefer the movie theater. But did you hear how I just talked? I just said, yeah, but I prefer some movies on the TV. It does a big deal. Like the generation before us was like, no, like I don't want to watch it on TV. Yeah, because they also had like 32-inch stuff. So generation has changed, man. Things are changing. It's inevitable. To close it off, I wanted to talk to you because I know you've been, we're big gamers. We enjoy our video games and narrative storytelling, right? And I know you got the Cyberpunk 2077. I wanted to talk to you about another hiccup in the industry. Did you hear about the glitches were so bad they had to do refunds?
Yeah, man. Sony Interactive.
So what's going on with that? Like, do you know anything more about it?
Yeah, man. So basically Cyberpunk said people can get refunds through like the agencies in which they're using the game to play in. So meanwhile, get refunds through Sony and get refunds through Microsoft. Sony didn't like the fact that they did that because they're basically using Sony as a customer rep for the refunds. Yeah. So Sony basically said, you know what, fuck that. We're gonna take the game off a store.
And that's what I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're not your customer
associated
people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Sony doesn't want to get a bad rep, right? They don't want to be pissed off the customers. And I actually was getting email. Even Walmart jumped in on it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Walmart was like, please email. We are not responsible for the refunds. Please email the manufacturer. They will take care of you. And when I saw that, again, back to your point, is they're probably pissed off too and saying, what, now we have to refund everybody, especially the holiday season.
Man. We're not the people to do that.
Do you feel you played this game, right? Yeah. And you're still playing. Do you feel
I actually stopped playing actually.
Oh, what happened, man? What happened?
Man, the bugs were too much, man. Like
you even experienced it.
Yeah, man. I was playing on my PC. I built my PC up for my games, and the bugs were a little bit too much for me. I was enjoying it when I enjoyed it, but I just couldn't do it anymore.
You're done now? Like it's stopped?
I'm just going to wait until they keep releasing patches for the game. So I'm going to wait another 2 months to play the game again. But it was a fun game. It just wasn't
but you can't play it because of the patches. Yeah. So do you think it was rushed?
I don't think it was rushed. Look, here's the thing.
What do you think happened, man?
At the end of the day, you're going to have to launch this thing sooner or later, man, because it's costing too much money for them to keep working on it.
Yeah, especially all the marketing they put into it.
Man.
Like, Keanu Reeves in there. Holy shit.
Yeah, like that's the thing, right? Like, I was not expecting the game to be perfect, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
But they couldn't deliver on the things they said they were going to deliver, and that's the issue. Yeah. There's bugs happening. It's a software. Like, there's bugs are bound to happen. I'm not too concerned about that.
Yeah, they say a lot of these games that are coming out like near the end of the year, they're meant more for the newer generations. Like I don't think there was a lot of problems with the PS5 and Xbox X.
No, there wasn't.
And I think that's what they're more upset about, is they're catering more towards that. Maybe because the engine's more powerful, right? What they're utilizing, the new softwares. I know that for a fact. Like I was reading something about Halo Infinite, which is I think Halo 6. They were warning people saying, what we experienced with Cyberpunk, I wouldn't recommend getting it for the Xbox One, like the previous Xbox, right? They're recommending like just wait for the next gen because they feel like it's going to be the same issues, like problems, glitches, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was just interesting. And I know you were playing the game. I know you were a fan, and it's very more interesting now that you're not even playing it because the bugs are that bad. So I wanted to throw it out there to see if you heard anything about it.
But yeah, man, I don't know, man. Like the bugs are too bad for me to enjoy the game, but it was a fun game. For like those 2 hours, that were fun.
Were you in the story? Were you deep in the story, or?
I was like within like 10% or 20% within the story. I wasn't quite sure, but like most of the game is trying to get you to do the side quests.
Yeah.
And doing the side quest, you learn more about the bigger story that goes on, which was pretty interesting. But at the end of the day, like, it wasn't that much freedom as playing GTA 5.
I'd be a lot of people are like saying it's just GTA 5 in the future.
But GTA 5 is a lot better than that game though when it got released.
GTA 5, I think, is the highest grossing game of all time or something, like $6 billion. Did you read something like that?
It's a big game because it keep releasing like new DLC.
It has a huge fall. Oh, and the DLCs and it has the online.
And the online. The online is most money. I think they made more money online.
It was the online. Yeah,
within the game itself.
For sure. Yeah.
And to the point in which Red Dead now is sold separately online to the story. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, you can just buy it for the story?
You can just only buy this game for online only.
Oh, online only. Okay, like they separate.
So it's like $12. Yeah, they separated it big time because it comes back to what I was telling you earlier this month. It's about the metaverse, man. It's about that universe at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, why do you think everything is like open world now? Or whenever they say it's going to be open world, people lose their shit because they want to feel that immersiveness, right?
Yeah.
I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, which is a huge game on PlayStation 4, high selling game, and compare that to Last of Us Part 2. Now, Last of Us Part 2 is strong narrative, single player, no open world. Like, you just do what you have to do and that's it. But it relies on the story and the strength of that, and it does it beautifully. Like it better. Like what I'm trying to get at is, it's a good thing that it relies on the story, because Ghost of Tsushima, for example, the story is there, but you could tell that if it didn't have its side quests and its immersiveness, or the fact that you could personalize your character, you would kind of like tune out after a while, like, okay, whatever. Still unpredictable, still a great game. But Last of Us Part 2, like, if you want to go narrative, you better go narrative and just focus on that and don't try to do both. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like the fact that they're two different games, it's two different styles, but what I'm trying to say is Last of Us Part 2, it's like there's no online. It's just, you want to play a story, this is a story. But you could tell they put all their money, their energy, their resources into making the best story they could. And they won that game of the year. So again, great example, right? Ghost of Tsushima, what I'm saying is I appreciate the fact that they also balanced it out. They did the story, but they also made you like feel like you were a samurai on the run, doing all these different missions. You felt the culture of Japan, the people, right? And you become part of the story. So it's just a different way of immersing your audience. And this is why I love video games. It's a different style, man. Christopher Nolan, he explained how much he loves the medium, how far it's gone. And they're transcending to art. Like, I don't know if you heard Last of Us is being turned into an HBO show.
Yeah.
With the creator of Chernobyl and the original creator of Last of Us, they're going to be on board. Like, that's a huge movement, man, for video games.
Not even that, right? Because Naughty Dog also has that other big title. The one where like you're like Tomb Raider, but you're not Tomb Raider itself.
Tomb Raider?
No, not Tomb Raider, but like they had another title. It's a Naughty Dog production. I'm sure you played that game before.
Yeah.
Where you play this guy. Yeah, you're like jumping. You're going to like Jack.
Does he have an otter? Does he have like an orange like otter?
No, not orange otter. I forgot it. But the guy that plays Spider-Man is Tom Holland. He's playing him.
Oh, Uncharted. Drake.
Drake. See, that's another Naughty Dog title.
Yeah, Nathan Drake.
Into a movie. But the thing is, Dan, like, end of the day, like, it's smart for movie studios to partner up with these video game companies.
Wherever they can find an audience, man.
Yeah, don't have an audience, freezing title, built in.
Studios are realizing,
just cash it out.
Studios are realizing, right? Seeing the sales with the PS5, right? They're saying, hey, we're running out of ideas. We're tired of doing reboots. We can only squeeze the shit out of Star Wars for so long before Christian pops up.
Man.
Us. You know what I mean? It's like they're going to look at the library and say, hey, because I know they've been trying to do a Halo movie for a long time. I'm surprised they didn't do that. And Spielberg was supposed to be attached. But they should just keep at it, because if they want some content, it's there. God of War is another one.
Yeah.
They could do. I know they did it with Ratchet and Clank. That was a few years ago. It was a cartoon, like animation movie, but still, it's something to work with.
But we gotta say, which company did it first? Netflix for Witcher.
Oh yeah. Netflix for Witcher, yeah. Well, they've been making video game adaptations for a while, but a true adaptation for a video game, yeah, Netflix. And he killed it. And I watched that, yeah. I'm not a fan of The Witcher that much, like in the video game, but I watched a bit of the show, and I was like, yeah, these guys killed it. Like they brought dignity to the video game. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it didn't make it look bad.
Dan, you used to do film like screenings, right? Because I used to do film screenings for Warner Bros. Back in the day. You used to do the same exact
publicity and promotions, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first job, yeah.
Do you remember if you had to do like the interview after the movie where you had to talk to people and see how they liked the movie, figure out their demographic, how much money they might make?
Yeah.
I did that. I did that all the time.
You had to do the interview? I didn't do the interview. That was more behind the scenes for me, like leading up to the film. I had to take care of like filling up seats and getting it distributed, like marketed. I was more the guy like on premiere day or screening day. I was handing out tickets, and then they put me in a corner and said, "Don't talk." So I disappeared after that. But yeah, it was. I know we both had a lot of fun. We both worked at the same company. Funny enough, just different times, different paths.
Different times.
And then we ended up. Yeah.
But what I wanted to say, man, it's like, here's why I'm going back to why I think. I forgot the name of that Warner Bros. Studio, that executive who made that decision. I think such a smart decision that he did. Because at the end of the day, when we're watching movies together, like movies as a group, we talk about the movie after the movie, right? But where that discussion's happening after the movie is happening on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's happening on IG and social media.
Mouth, right? Word of mouth still spreads like wildfire, right?
Wildfire. So, but like, just imagine now I can watch Wonder Woman in real time with everyone in the world and have discussion on it on Twitter. That's the best thing. Like, I don't know.
I know
I'm always circling back to it.
No.
But I think that's the smartest move he has ever done. I forgot the guy's name. But smart move.
My biggest thing, I don't know his name, but my biggest thing is I have a huge issue with focusing when I watch a movie sometimes, like if I'm home, like with the phone thing. So I don't know if you can...
Everyone does. Everyone has
No, I know, but I'm saying like, how do you watch a movie and like tweet about it at the same time? But I guess like you said, that's like part of the norm.
That's the norm. People do that already.
So they're going to make movies that like at certain parts you turn off your brain. Forget Parasite. You can't do that. You got to read the subtitles. You're not going to...
dude. The thing is, it's like, we as beings, we're already accustomed to doing 5 things at one time.
It's true.
I'm talking to you right now on Zoom, and and you have my full attention.
Yeah.
But like, if I was someone else, I'll be already scrolling on Twitter or IG,
same right
liking
now.
something.
Like I'm giving you my utmost attention.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, not even just because I'm doing it, but I bet you same thing for you. In your mind, you're thinking, okay, what do I do for this? Work. That thing this morning. Cyberpunk, are they going to have with that patch yet? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like all these things. And like you said, it's our brain. It's how they're wired. It's natural. You know?
I love when, because the thing is, it's like media needs to reflect what's going on. What's the behavior of nowadays, right?
The culture, right?
The culture, exactly.
Yeah.
And man, I forgot this fucking filmmaker, but he made such a good point. It's like, now you have to tell what the story is within like 5 minutes. Before it was like within 15 minutes, right? Within 15 pages of the script. Within 5 minutes, you got to tell what this is about. Is it worth my attention right away?
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting because I do believe that the theater model is dead.
Yeah, I know Christian's a firm believer that's
it's
Hollywood.
Dead, bro. Why am I gonna go to the theater when I can watch it on my phone, pause my phone, go do something else, and come back? And
I was watching like catching up on some Christmas movies on Disney Plus, and I was like doing some drawings because I sketch, right? And I'm just saying, like, I'm still getting the video, like I'm watching it, I'm doing but I get to do 2 things at once, you know. And, back to like my sister, again, represents that generation. Well, Gen Z, I should say, right? Which is right after us. She says, I can't watch a movie. I feel like I'm not doing anything for them.
Yeah.
And actually, she mentioned to me, funny enough, because my parents want to do like a marathon. Like it's like a tradition thing we do over the break, like Star Wars and stuff. She's like, Daniel, like, I don't think I could sit with you guys, but how about I just like, do my own thing, like arts and crafts, or I don't know, like something on my own. And I said, yeah, but what's the point? You can't watch the movie. She's like, no, I can pay attention. I got that. Like, and again, it's just that mindset, like that you can't fight it. Like, that's just how they're wired. That's how we're wired. Like,
Man.
I was circling back to video games, right?
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima, like I'm playing it and I'm like, the reason why it's open world, it's not because they want you to be immersed and feel like you're part of like, you know, the Japanese culture, whatever. It's because I feel like it's for people with ADD, people that need to be constantly like, think about it, man. You're on a mission. Like, I'll be running towards a target. And then like, there's another thing where this yellow bird will be flying because it could bring you to like getting new armor or a new sword, and you'll follow it and you'll completely ignore your mission. Yeah. And it grabs that. And then there's another guy that just approaches you that wants to fight, and you like fight him. And then by the time you do all that, you're like, oh, that's right. I have to go to that mission, that story marker. Because before, right, it was just zig, 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 zig. Okay, I beat the game, right? Now it's like, I want to go here. Oh, I didn't do that yet. Oh, I want this. Oh, but I really want my guy to have a really cool mask. I really want my guy to have a cool sword. Okay, I'm going to go here. Okay, now I'm ready for the story. It's it's just how things are being designed. It's why with YouTube, you know, you're watching a video and there's like a bunch of videos on the right ready for you to go, like all related to the video you're watching. It's scary stuff, man. My only thing
it's learned behavior, man. It's done.
No, but my only thing is that maybe you can help me out on this is I don't mind that, but if society doesn't work with us, like if the future isn't adapted to how we think and act, like our behaviors, we're done, man. Because you know how, what I'm trying to get at is, you know how they always say like you need to be more focused, you need to be more disciplined, but yet we're arguing like, no, it's just like how my brain is. Like I'm thinking about all these different things. If we don't find a way to adapt that into the modern culture, a lot of us could suffer. You know what I mean? Because I know people that are way worse than us, that they can't even, you know, they're the classic like, yeah, I'm just gonna put that off tomorrow because I want to do that. Procrastination is a different thing, but still, it's on that playing field of, you know, staying focused and staying disciplined. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. I don't know what the future holds, man.
Man, well, it's interesting and it's great for us because it's like now we can't start that wave.
I'm excited for us, man. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I feel like, yeah, go ahead, man. Sorry, I know I can't.
No, it's all right because we're both so excited because we know because not only we studied it, we're part of that system. Now we're out of the system. Now we're seeing how the system itself is reacting. Because if we're thinking of it as, because the Hollywood system will always be second mover advantage. They will never focus on low quality film. Let's say low budget films, because for them the risk is higher the quality, the highest the return. That's their model. But for us now, it's like, yeah, you can put millions of dollars on this film, but since the money's so high, you're trying to control this movie so hard, you're not giving the filmmaker any breath to actually adapt and make this movie more accessible to younger generation. But for us now, it's like we're doing movies for not too much money. So now we can actually allow filmmakers to actually find their voice within the script, within the story, and allow them to adapt the story to match the generation. Because here's the thing. When they're making movies for like over $800 million and the marketing budget is a little bit more than that at times, do you think those execs are going to allow the filmmaker to make decisions about a story?
No. Or even final cut?
And find a cut?
Or marketing? That's a big thing on me. Are they going to have a say in marketing, like how a poster is going to look? Do they even get to that far? I don't know.
They're trying to control it. But here's the thing. It's an art. You can't really control art, man. Like it has to move with the way people see stories.
They're starting to see it. Yeah. What we're witnessing, Christian, if you look back at the last 10, 20 years, right, of movies, you're starting to see that it's become what had happened in the 50s and 60s, the Hollywood system. Studio system, they call it the studio system, which it was a constricted, rigid way of making movies to the point where movies became boring. Like people didn't want to go watch them. In the 1970s, 1970s, it was called the Brat Pack, and it was Scorsese, Brian De Palma, Ford Coppola, Spielberg, and George Lucas. They all came out and they made these very oddball looking movies, very quirky.
For low money. That's the key thing.
The original Star Wars, just wanted to mention to everybody, was $10 million. Now in those days, I guess was a lot of money, but is nothing compared to what the movies are being made for now. And they can't even come close to the originality of those films.
No.
George Lucas had 2 heart attacks, I believe, on set because he was stressed out on making that movie. And he was making it in London too. So what I'm saying is, I believe that we could be the next piece of the puzzle. Like like our generation is the one to wake up the system, like rattle it, reintroduce the meaning of art, the meaning of cinema. And we're witnessing the beginning of it. With these platforms, with HBO Max, it's going to get worse, or better, I should say, in the sense that worse for the studios, but better for us. The platforms are going to get more competitive. You know this. Disney already said in the middle of the year, they're like, we're going to redirect our resources and attention and investments on the streaming platform. What does that mean? Create more original content for it, hire some more. And the only way they're going to keep up, Netflix style, get some true independent artistic people that want to tell a story on there. Because what it is, it's going to come down to, like you said, quality and quantity of content. If you're making high quality content, but it's once in a while, you know what people are going to start doing, Christian?
They're going to forget about it.
They're going to do what I'm doing. They do the free trial for a month, and then they cancel it after they watch their show. You know what I mean? Why do you think I haven't canceled my Netflix yet? Because I can't keep up with all the shows, bro. Does that make sense? Okay, look at Amazon Prime.
It makes
Amazon Prime.
Sense.
The Boys. Okay, I love that show. But that's the only show I really can think of that's on Amazon that I really like. Now, people will argue, oh, this show, that show. But think about it. I haven't heard an Amazon Prime show that's really that amazing or getting that much talk, at least on social media. Right?
They're like Mrs. Marvel or something, but that didn't catch my eye.
Honestly,
go ahead.
Yeah, like compared to what I'm saying, Netflix, where it's like ingraining in pop culture, you got Stranger Things, right? House of Cards when it was on. Now they got new shows I have to watch. I don't even know of yet. But there's just a variety, man. A variety.
But let's go back. But let's go back to Netflix though, because here's another thing. Netflix doesn't make the shows. They get a production house to make the shows.
Yes.
And they distribute it, and they say within the contract, can we put this show as a Netflix original?
Look at The Irishman. Irishman, that's all Scorsese. And the only reason why Scorsese went to Netflix is because he said, after 40, 50 years of being in this business, after all the money I've made for movies and Oscars, not one studio wanted to do a 3-hour movie. Mm-hmm. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I do believe
it. No, but I'm saying, can you believe, like I couldn't, because 80 years old, Scorsese, legend, living legend, literally. If anyone is allowed to make a 3-hour movie, it should be him. And they refused to do it because they couldn't wrap their head around it. They said, no, it's too much of a risk.
Yeah, man. They put all that money on Warner Bros. on the superhero movies, man. They're not going to do it.
Exactly, buddy. Exactly. You know, don't even approach Disney because they're going to be like, we got Marvel up our ass for 20 years.
Yeah, man. Now we have Star Wars, man, with Mandalorian.
Yeah, and that's another thing, man, is that people got to be these studios got to be careful. Is they can't get too attached to a trend, right? Like we're living in the superhero renaissance, the era. It's not going to last for long. Right?
It's over now.
It's over now, but in their eyes, it's still going. Like they're making all kinds of crap, like Wanda, Vision, and Loki movie on Disney Plus. You're shaking your head because I know you're like, I'm not watching any of that shit. No, are you kidding me, dude? Have you seen? Are you kidding me? Have you seen that? And then they flat out made a movie. They're flat out making a show called What If. Marvel's What If. Basically, they ran out of so many ideas that they're just saying, what if we didn't do any of the stuff we did in the movie? Mm-hmm. And we're just doing the opposite of those movies. That's what I feel like.
Man, it is what happened because
holy crap, man.
They cost a lot of money because here's the thing. The money that they're being made off like Marvel is subsidizing other products that Disney is producing, is manufacturing. Right. So they need that income to make payroll, to run Disney World, to make those toys that people buy off. It's a very interesting world, man. Very interesting world.
Yeah.
I'm personally saying, man, how people are gonna watch when TikTok is so addictive, YouTube is so addictive.
It's true.
Twitter is really addictive. So I don't even know.
Yeah, that's why I always say snackable content because I really believe people can't focus for more than 5 minutes.
No, they can't.
Or 5 seconds, mind you.
Yeah. What is this about? I need to know.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, like, are people gonna watch this far? But let's hope and pray that our audience will find us here.
Oh, they will find us. If the content is good, they'll find us. But end of the day, like, for us, we guys do the work, which we're doing.
Yeah, honestly, it's just about putting yourself out there. We have this on many calls. We're always reminding ourselves before we end the call, man, put yourself out there, do the best you can, and always be authentic, man. Be yourself. You know, that's why I love talking to Christian. It's no matter what day or year you run into him, it's always the same guy, you know, and I'm sure you could say the same for me. We pick up where we left off, you know what I mean? And when things get better, you know, I plan to see you. I'll, you know, come to Toronto. I think you were planning to come to Toronto this year, weren't you? Wasn't that in the books?
Yeah, I was planning to come to Toronto this year.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Like,
yeah, it didn't happen, man.
Man, this year feels like 5 years. Like, I feel like I'm 30 years old. I'm not even close to being 30. Like, I feel like I'm ready to, like, you know, settle down. No, I'm joking. Christian's like, don't you say that.
I won't be against you.
No. That's another talk, because we all know who falls in that category. There's some scary people out there. No, everyone's living their own life. No judging. I'm just, you know, it's that age where, you know, you see certain.
Yeah, man. Well, like, we gotta give the audience a little bit something too about it too, because the thing is, people are like rushing relationships now, especially with COVID, and they don't even know who they are in the relationships.
That's something we're gonna be talking about definitely.
That's something we need to
we'll definitely. Yeah, that's gonna require another day. But what I'm saying is, to give some context to the audience is, we have nothing against relationships or anything like that. It's just kind of where everything is headed, and you know, I'm sure you guys are aware as well, like between the dating apps and, you know, the struggle and, you know, that lack of, you know, personal contact, especially with COVID. We're just seeing a lot of things, right? We're observers, and we like to make certain you know, observations. So but it was a pleasure talking to you, buddy. And I had a really great conversation, and I don't know what's going on with that movie system, but you know, it'll be in our favor, just a matter of time.
Well, man, it was great talking to you, like always, man. I love talking to you, man. It's fucking great.
That's great, man.
Man. But yeah, man, the movie system, I'm very, like, I know what's gonna happen. I can sense it already.
May the odds be ever in our favor.
They already are in our favor.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're both excited, as you should. The future's ahead of us, and yeah, until next time. All right, buddy?
Sounds good, man. Talk to you later, boss.
Take care. Have a good night, buddy.
Bye, man.